Hello, this is Milk Lovers Anonymous. I'm your host, Jonas Goldberg.
And I'm your other host, Akiva.
Yes, so right now we're gonna have to. So right now, in case you're wondering why Paige is not here, currently she is asleep. I haven't fed her for the past few days. I can't tell if she's alive or not, but we'll be able to tell later on.
She's got like a faint breath.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Okay. Thank you.
I think she's just tired.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Well, I might feed her later today. I'll think about it.
Okay.
How are you, Akiva?
I'm doing all right. I'm just chilling. I'm enjoying, there's a light breeze outside. Fall weather. I like it on the colder side. Last night it got down to 34, 35 degrees.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like the cold. I have chronic Lyme disease and my joint pain is pretty chronic and it happens throughout the year. But during the cold seasons, it's a little better and my joint pain is affected a little less. During the extreme heat, it actually really hurts my joints. Jonas knows this. So I like the colder weather, but I also just like it because it feels nice. I don't know. It's kind of my vibe. I know some people like warmer weather, but I like the colder weather. What about you, Jonas? What's up with you, dog?
I wish I had more interesting news for you, but as my grandmother says, no news is good news. So, yeah.
What's your favorite season?
Favorite season? Honestly, considering where I live, probably winter. Winter gets so cold, and summer here is so fucking hot. So I love winter with a passion.
That's right, because you live in
Cali,
the Golden State.
Gold in my ass.
Is that what that's called?
It is, but gold in my ass.
Maybe a golden shower. Who knows? Anyway,
no, more like a shit shower.
Okay, well, if you guys want to sponsor a podcast house, me and Jonas will meet somewhere in between in the middle of the country and we'll buy a house.
Iowa. We'll do Iowa.
Can we do Illinois right across the Iowa border? How about that?
All right, yeah.
Because
we'll compromise.
Better quality of life, lower cost of living.
We'll do a Democratic Republican thing that they've never done, and that will be to make an agreement.
Whoa, political satire! I hope we don't lose any audience members.
Oh my god, I'm gonna come. I don't know why I just said that.
Oh,
I don't know why I just said that. Anyways.
Oh, man, Jonas. Oh, man. Fucking hopefully no parents listen to this podcast.
Oh, there will be. At least my parents will.
Oh.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Hello. This is your son. Aren't you proud of me?
Son, get the fuck out of my house.
We refuse to let you stay here any longer. Anyways.
Sorry.
Akiva, you have a fiance, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do. Jonas, you have a girlfriend, don't you?
Maybe. Who's asking?
Me,
babe. Then yes. But I must ask you, did you date anyone else before you found your fiance?
Oh, I sure did. I just turned 22 last month, and put in a little or some womp womp. That's my own voice. You can take my own. Womp womp.
Akiva's voice is up for sale. You can buy it if you want. You
can buy it. I'm selling my voice and likeness for $1 million.
I will personally remove their voice box for you, and you are allowed to Take it. They won't have a say in it, but I will do it.
$100 million for my whole voice box.
Yep. Man, that's a steal, honestly. Like, you know what's that shit cost on the black market? You're gonna get a steal on that.
So, Jonas, I have a thing for you.
Oh boy.
The other day, I work food service.
Okay.
In my restaurant, we had a couple come in, and they were holding hands, so they were obviously a couple.
Okay.
And they were like, at first it seemed fine. They were giving each other, like, they gave each other, like, a smooch on the, like, a peck on the cheek, like, whatever. Like, it seemed like they were just having, like, a nice date, whatever. Don't know why they chose where I work, but cool.
Babe.
Fucking burger restaurant, but
babe,
okay.
I'm going to treat you real nice today. I'm going to take you to Five Guys.
Yeah. So, whatever. And then they finished getting their order taken, and this dude, like, straight up goes and, like, smacks his girlfriend's ass. And I'm like,
Whoa.
all right, like, I was like, all right, whatever, like, maybe not. Like, maybe not do that in front of, like, there's kids in the restaurant, like, maybe not. And then, well, Jonas, they start, like, kissing and, like, whispering into each other's ear, and, like, and it started to make me really uncomfortable.
Fair.
And I was like, man, that's a chaotic kind of fucking date. Like, that's, like, I don't like that. I don't know. I'm all for, like, give each other a peck on the cheek, hold hands, don't fucking full on make out in front of children. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a small ask, but I guess not.
Controversial take.
Don't be...
Okay, guys. I know that MLA, we have many controversial takes. But our controversial take of the day is don't make out in front of children. That is our controversial take of the day.
Especially in public.
I know. Okay, guys. Look, I know we're gonna get canceled for that. Actually, we might actually. There are some weird people on the fucking internet. We might actually get fucking canceled for that opinion.
I hope so. Because if that's what's going to bring us down,
if that's what
I feel like that's
canceled,
not the worst thing to get brought down for.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh, God, sorry, I had to, God. In case you guys were wondering, we straight up woke up and then started a recording session. So Here we are.
Yes. Estoy aquí. Though I didn't say I'm here. You could see that. But, so you saw a very odd couple come into your restaurant I guess in a very
basically make out, whisper sweet nothings into each other's ears, and then they left very promptly with their food. So I'm thinking they probably went to go fucking just fuck raw in their car. Like, I don't fucking know. But, like, I wouldn't be surprised because, come on. Like, I don't know. I don't know. By all means, go on a date wherever the fuck you want to go on a date. Hold hands, give each other a peck on the cheek. Like, me and my fiance, like, we'll lean on each other's shoulder, or we'll, like, give each other a peck on the cheek, we'll hold hands, whatever. We'll be, like, moderately affectionate, but not to the point where, like, we're making anyone around us uncomfortable. I mean, maybe it makes some people uncomfortable because they're homophobic, but, like, that's
right,
the issue. That's their own fucking issue.
That's not really your fault at that point.
No, it's not my problem at that point. But, like, yeah. Why do you bring this up, Jonas? If I dated anybody before, did you date anybody before your girlfriend?
Oh, I dated many people, and that's not an exaggeration. I dated many, many people.
Is yours in the double digits too?
Yes, actually, I believe. So I would like to ask you, Akiva, my dear humble friend, do you have any interesting dating stories?
Well, I sure do, Jonas. I sure do. Jeez, I don't even know where I would start. I could probably even just start with my first ever girlfriend. I'll title this story. We don't even do fucking titles for the story, but I'm going to call this story Number 14.
N- Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
Number 14.
Number 15.
Yeah. But number 14. Have you thought of a story for yourself? Do you want to give it a little title? I don't know why we're doing this, but like, we'll start off with that.
I'll go with The Friend and the Whore. That's what I'll call mine.
Ah! Okay. I kind of like yours better. Do you want to go with yours?
What do you mean?
Do you want to tell your dating story first, and then I'll tell mine? We'll kind of switch off. I don't know.
You can go first. Mine isn't like so much like a date as much as it is like when I kind of dated somebody. But you may.
Well, this is also when I kind of dated somebody.
Well, let's hear yours first.
Okay, so my first girlfriend was in middle school. Yeah, I was a weird kid in middle school. She was weird too. We started dating and we would like exchange texts, like cute little stuff. I got her a Valentine's Day card, way early. Like a month and a half early, maybe. So, and I didn't realize, but that was kind of like the nail in the coffin in our very short middle school relationship. Now, there was another kid in our school who smelled like poop. He just smelled like poop. And I found out later on, like, his father didn't allow him to shower. Like, he was physically not allowed to shower. It was really fucking creepy and weird.
Huh.
Like, his father didn't let him get wet. At all, ever. Like, straight up. Really fucking weird.
Yeah.
So, I'm just, like, dating this girl. We're chatting. It's really nice. Like, it was cute. It was a cute little middle school relationship. Like I was on the phone to start when we started dating. I was on the phone with her, and I was just like, I'm going to tell her I like her. I'm going to tell her I have a crush on her. And I was just like, I like you. And then I hung up the phone, and I was like, hee, and I like ran away into my bedroom, and whatever. Like, it was a landline phone that we were calling on and shit. But so, she calls me back and she's like, "Oh, I like you too," and like whatever. And then we started dating.
Aww.
We went on like a date to the middle school dance, and this is the only school dance I have ever been to. And it's this I'm definitely dating myself. But this is the year that Sexy and I Know It came out. And I'm sexy and I know it. My bad dubstep fucking impression. And she requested that song like 7 times. And you know what the DJ played? Sexy and I Know It. 7 fucking times. She my parents gave me a little money to buy like a snack for me and my girlfriend and like drinks and stuff. Just like my parents were like, here's $20, right? And I was like, oh, well, thanks. Like, cool. Well, I'm like, she was like, I kind of want food. And I was like, oh, I have $20. Like, I can treat you to some food. She's like, cool, thanks. She takes the $20 and spends it on food for herself and her friends. And another guy, right? And I'm like, what the fuck you? Like, I'm just kind of like, all right. So I'm kind of like standing on my own, and she's like out dancing with other people, and she didn't even ask me to like dance with her. And I'm just like standing in the like against the wall, all sad and awkward, and the chaperone comes up to me, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "I just had a date. I'm on a date." Like, and it's middle school, so I'm just like, I'm on a date. So, the date's over, whatever. Like, we go home. She gives me a kiss on the cheek, right?
Ooh.
We were in like choir together. So like I got to see her the next day. She was a soprano and I was an alto. obviously. And so I get her a Valentine's Day card, right? I got it way too fucking early. I got her like a little teddy bear too, like way fucking early. Like no reason to get it that early. But my little brain was like, I want to show this girl that I love her. You know?
Hell yeah.
So I give her a card. Oh, wait, hold on. So the day before, I hear from a classmate like, hey, we saw like your girlfriend holding hands with let's call this guy Frank.
Chad,
even though he is not a Chad. He looks like a fucking Schmlembles. Schmlembles. Okay, Schmlembles. She was holding hands with Schmlembles. And I was like, no way. So and they were like, no, like watch in the morning, like walk up to where she's at and like watch her with Schmlembles. And I was like, okay. So I watched and she was holding his hand. And I was like, what the fuck? So I'm like, no way. So we're in class and I'm like, hey, blah, 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 Schmlembles. And she's like, oh, you saw, huh? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, I got you this Valentine's Day card. She's like, aw. She pulls a folder out of her fucking bag. And this like broke my little middle school heart. And she pulls out a marker and writes number 14 and slides it into the folder full of fucking Valentine's Day cards. And she was like, yeah, I have a goal of dating as many boys as possible in middle school. And I was like,
oh my God.
Like, my heart was broken. You know, the like waving your arms, running down the hall, like, you know, like, leave me alone. Like, I did that, basically.
Have you ever
cried and ran up.
Have you ever seen Wallace and Gromit? Have you ever seen Wallace and Gromit in general?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so in one of their shorts, there's one that's called A Matter of Loaf and Death, and it's about this woman who's trying to date and kill as many bakers as she can, and she's trying to, and so she has a room that's basically like filled with like bakers that she's dated and killed, and there's like a part where it's like where you can see like the numbers of the bakers that she's killed, and Gromit figured out that, like, you know, she's like dating and killing bakers and she's gonna try to kill Wallace, and he's like, oh no, and it kind of reminds me of that.
So okay, so this doesn't end here. So I'm like kind of like heartbroken, like, you know, middle school heartbroken. So obviously now it's like okay. But like back then, you know, that was like my world ended. Because, you know, believe it or not, you're really emotional when you're that age.
No way.
Yeah, no fucking way. So I'm like low-key like, okay, and I don't know why, but my mind was like, okay, well, once you're done doing that, like, I'd like to actually date you. I really like you. And I wrote her like notes and letters and stuff, and she would write me back like really sweet things, and I was like, okay. And I would like leave a note in her locker, and she'd leave a note in my locker, like whatever. Well, one day in math class, this fucking kid comes in, and he's like shorter than me, and he's a grade under me. And he's like, you're trying to mess with my girl! And he charges me with a pen and stabs my hand with the fucking pen, dude. And he kicks me to the floor, and he goes, you'll always fucking be number 14. And runs off. He drops the pen, backs up like he just murdered somebody, and ran off. I'm just sitting there, my hand is bleeding. And I'm like, ow! And like, I go to the nurse, and like, it gets bandaged up. I'm fine, but like, that's my story. That's number 14. I was boy number 14.
Damn. Fuck.
What was yours called? The Friend and the Whore?
Yes, the Friend and the Whore. So
people are not gonna like that we use the word whore so much. It's kind of funny.
So, where do I start with this?
How old were you?
It's 2018. It's sophomore year.
That's a rewind, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you were a sophomore the year I graduated high school.
And
sorry.
I am, how old was I? 15. A new girl comes to our school. We will call her, what's a good name? Wendy. We'll call her Wendy. She comes to our school for context. I went to a private Christian school. And she came from our local high school, like regular ass high school. I didn't know her at all. No one did, I don't think. But for most of the story, it actually doesn't really matter. I know her, she know me, whatever. We fast forward a little bit to, I think, around January or February. So, a friend of mine decides apparently, I guess, that things aren't going. No, wait, hold on. I'm not telling the story completely correctly. Let me go back a little bit further. My friends tell me that I should ask this girl out to prom. And I'm like, okay. So I do it. And it's pretty sweet, if I'm being 100% with you. It was a pretty sweet proposal. I made her a sign, and it had a bun, and basically it was, and I forget what it said. I can actually go figure it out if my phone is around here, because I have it on my phone. I actually don't know where my phone is. Shit, why is this the one time that I can't find? Oh, it's in my pocket. That's why I can't find it, because it's in my pocket. Let me go
send it in the Discord. I mean, show it to me in our super high-tech recording studio that we definitely are in together.
Our high-tech recording studio / basement.
/ basement, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, okay, that's not it. Where is it? Where are you, my friend? I would very much like to find you. I guess. No, this was after the fact. This was much after the fact. That was also after the fact. This was all after the fact. I want to find before the fact. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't realize that my proposal was this shitty. Okay, so I thought I had some sort of pun. Okay, I thought I had some sort of pun in here. I guess I didn't. I will send you the picture, my good friend Akiva. But just so you know, it does include this person's real name, so do not read it out loud.
Okay. Well, it's okay. I'll even if I read it out loud, I'll give it a fake name.
Okay. Yes. Remember, we're going by Wendy here. This person's name is Wendy. Yes. Okay. There.
Wendy's
it is.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Is that you on the left?
That is me on the left. You are.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You look like such a pussy destroyer, my friend.
I don't know about that, but basically.
You
as
used Oreos.
Yeah.
To sell her.
Yes, I did. I used Oreos.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Dude, if you did that to me, I would my pants would be down. Not literally. I'd be eating the Oreos.
Yeah. So I got her. So me and my mom made her a sign of Oreos, and then I gave her a bunch of Oreos.
That's so sweet.
And
That is such a sweet gesture.
And that's how I asked her out to prom, and she said yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure at that point I remember what happened. I kind of just like randomly asked her out one time, like, to prom, and she said, I'll say yes if you make me like a whole thing. And I was like, okay, sure. And so I did. So I'm like, and so you mean like at this point, I think that like we had like I don't know if we call each other friends, like kind of friends, but more on the side of acquaintances, But at this
Jonas and Plum. What was the name you gave her?
Wendy.
Wendy.
Yeah, okay. Jonas and Wendy.
Plum.
So at this point, we truly had a friendship at this point, which was cool. She was a chill person. Now then, we fast forward a little bit, and my friend apparently decides that he's sick of his girlfriend. Okay, that's fine. Shit happens. But instead of breaking up with her, he instead decides to cheat on her. And who does he do it with? Wendy, over school email, which is like, I don't know why he did it like that, but he did.
School email.
Yeah. So they figured it out, and that's like everyone in the school figured it out. And I was like, oh damn. But like, I also wasn't like too torn up about it, because although I did honestly like her, I was also like, well, it's not like we're dating and she doesn't know, so it's like, who cares, right? But it just felt kind of shitty on my end, because my friend was the one
pretty betrayed.
No, that I didn't care about, because I was like, okay, if she wants, she can bang whoever she wants. Because like, I liked her, but I didn't know her feelings for me, and I never told her my feelings for her, so it was kind of like, who cares, right? My problem was that my friend had encouraged me to ask her out, and to prom. And so I was like, damn. So then that's kind of shitty, but like, okay. But okay, whatever. But I still talked to her, and I ended up learning more and more about her, and she apparently supposedly regretted what she had said. Apparently regretted ever talking to him. And I was like, okay, like, I don't care, but like, whatever. Now, again, we fast forward to prom. And we're at prom now, okay? Like, okay, like officially. And now that we are at prom, I'm like, damn, I really like this girl still, but there's like conflicting feelings. And so I was kind of like, I was kind of like trying to like talk to her, but it also felt kind of weird. But then on the bus ride home, because we, my friend got us a private bus to take us to prom, because it was like, it's prom, it's supposed to do something cool. So we took it was a party bus. That's what it was. It was a party bus. That's how we went to prom. Yeah. And I told her on the way home that I liked her. And so then she held my hand. And I was like, oh, so that's like her way of telling me that she likes me. The story is called The Friend and the Whore, so don't get your hopes up for this story.
Wait, Jonas, can we someday just like have a bunch of pre-recorded Akiva reactions for like when I'm like not feeling good, like if I'm sick or something, so like we'll go like, wow, that's really great. I'm so glad that happened. Boo!
So I'll just do like an entire podcast by myself.
Yeah, you in a soundboard, just in a little dark room, just like, what do you think? Like, it's gonna be like 4 years from now or something. I'm gonna be like dead, or like I exploded, something crazy, and like you're just gonna be like, what do you think, Akiva? Boo! Glad that happened. Boo! Glad that happened. Boo! Glad that happened.
I know, buddy. I know.
Anyway, I meant to say like 50 years, like 40 or 50 years, like not like 4 years from now. Like I didn't mean to say 4 years.
In 4 years, I'll be fucking dead, man. Like I'll have a crazy ass life. I'll be fucking dead.
God forbid, Jesus. Anyway.
But you know, at this point, I was kind of like, okay, I think that she's like better. Okay, I think that she's like into me now. You know, and so then, but on the way home, she had told me maybe I'm into you, maybe I'm not. But I kind of took that as kind of like her sense of humor. But then at school, she ended up telling me, look, I'm not gonna officially date you right now, just because I'm not in the best mental space. And I'm like, okay, so we've established that we both like each other, but we're not officially dating. So we're basically dating. You know, because like we were still like holding hands, like, you know, we were still like, you know, we were still feeling each other, you know, like, you know, stuff like that, you know, so like we were basically dating, you know, so we're like, okay, cool. And as time goes on, we grow more and more distant. But I remember the day that it started, and it was the day that I went over to her house. And on that day, what ended up happening was and you know what? Okay, so to not do her a disservice, okay? She was very nice in the beginning. In fact, on my birthday, during school, which this was really like embarrassing. I mean, like it was nice, but it was embarrassing. She got me like a bunch of balloons and a cake and a bunch of passes to like this like escape room thing, which was like so sweet, you know? Like I'm not gonna fucking dog on her for that. That was really sweet of her. But fucking the day I went over to her house, I was like very much like not exactly like I was not exactly like you know, she wanted me to like feel her up, and I wanted to make, and like, you know, I wouldn't do anything without her permission, but because I was kind of like, that's like fucked up to do, like, you know, I'm like, you know, I should only do it if she's comfortable with it. So I didn't really make any moves, and that was the day that we started to grow more distant, you know, and after that point, I was like, okay, like, you know, maybe things will go okay. And my friend was kind of like, Jonas, you should really like you should just like stop talking to her, man. Because like she's clearly a piece of shit. You shouldn't be talking to her. And I was just like, okay. And then one day, I make this realization. I was at my grandparents' house, and I'm just like thinking, and I'm like, wait a minute. What if he told me to stop talking to her so he can start talking to her? And that was like, and I was like, okay, that could be what's happening, but I don't know. So I talked to my other friend about it, and he was like, that actually would make a lot of sense. So I was like, okay, but I can't prove anything.
Ugh.
So I straight up asked him, and he was like, yeah, that's what's happening. And he ended up telling me, and I can't say this was word for word, but it was basically something along the lines of, I am going to fuck whoever I want, no matter who it was basically if I want to fuck somebody, I'm going to fuck them, even if one of my friends is already with them. And I was like, oh, that's not very nice. So at that point, he ended up choosing to like split off with her because it was clearly hurting me, right? Or at the very least, I think it was to avoid collateral damage, because his brother had found out, and his brother was not a huge fan of it. And at that point, she began to message me. Now, I would like to go ahead and find the messages that she sent me.
Oh God.
So, for context, in my phone, I do not have her by her real name, or even by the fake name I have given you. Instead, I have her by, if I'm correct, her name in my phone. I can't find it, actually. No, never mind. Wait. Hold on, am I just stupid? Am I just a stupid little guy? It might be. Am
You
I?
are.
Oh no, no, I'm correct. Her name in my phone is Whore. That is her name on my phone. So I will read you some of the messages that she sent me. So essentially, she essentially was like kind of being distant, and so eventually she said, she basically, in regards to her and my friend, who I guess my friend I will call Frank. I will steal your name and I will call him Frank. She said, I still took a risk.
Frank!
I still took a risk and I'll never know. And I said, if what? And she said, if maybe we could make it. And I said, well, I mean, for him to make it work, our friendship might have ended. And Frank loves his friends more than anything. Then Wendy said, or you could have grown a pair and gotten over it. It's not like you loved me. And shouldn't you care about your friend's happiness too? So I said, dude, I liked you. It's hard to just get over it. Wendy then responded with, and I love him, and you're expecting me to just get over it. And I said, no, that's not what I'm saying. And she said, well, you made him want to put me aside for you, and by doing that, he lost me. I said I didn't make him do anything. I never even told him I wasn't fine with him. That was his choice. And then she said, fine, whatever, see you at school. And that was it. That was our last ever conversation. No, not ever. We talked a little bit at school, but that was it. So that should be the end of the story. That should be the end of the story, right? But no, it is not the end of the story. Next year, junior year, okay? We're all chilling out. We're having a good time. One day, Wendy comes over, and she starts sitting with us at lunch, which is kind of weird. Frank is like, that's kind of weird. I don't really trust Frank, but I'm like, okay, sure, I guess it is kind of weird. And as time keeps on going on, eventually I see him feeling her up more. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, dog, for real? Like, seriously? Like, come on. Like, bruh, you, bruh. Like, do you, like, I'm like, if you like pussy more than your friends, that's fine. But then, like, why can't you just say that? And then just act it out, you know? Like, and then eventually, I kind of just told them that they could, I kind of just told Frank that he could be with Wendy, because I understood that they weren't going to listen to me. You know, he wasn't going to listen to me. So I was like, why even fucking bother? You know what I mean? But then, here's the fucking kicker. You want to hear the kicker at the end of the story? Wendy fucking cheated on Frank. So, the story ends.
That's obvious.
Yes,
Come on.
but it was so funny, because then Frank was basically like, okay, yeah, I guess you were right. And it's like, no fucking shit, dog. Like fucking seriously. So, that's the story. That is my odd dating story.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I mean, God. There was one girl who, oh no, what story do I want to tell? So, I mean, yeah. So I was number 14, and that was cool. The last time I interacted with that girl. What name am I gonna give her?
Elizabeth.
That's
That's what to say. Let's go, Echmel.
No, just
Alright.
okay, so last time I saw was at a pet store, right? And it was really funny because I could see that she recognized me right away. And she started like flirting with me.
Ooh.
And I was like, so I literally looked at her and I was like, hate to tell you, but I'm actually way happier than you would ever make me or ever had made me. And she would just looked at me like I had two heads, and I never saw her working at that pet store ever again. Like, sorry, but I'm way happier than ever, and I do not want anything to do with you. And I asked her, I was like, how many numbers were you at by the end? And she was like, 15. I was like, raw fucking vo, my dude. Because I think people found out and just like,
right.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on like some weird first dates. Like there was one girl, and this I guess was like a little, I don't know, it might be a little controversial, but I'm religiously Jewish. So, you know, middle of the date, she finds out I'm Jewish, right? She goes, so you'd want to circumcise our kids? And I'm like, yes. I'd also want to raise them religiously Jewish. Like, I'd want to raise them with a Jewish education so they, you know, are educated about their Judaism. And, you know, she just starts going on this fucking rant.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. She went on a fucking rant for like 20 minutes about how, like, Jews are immoral and we're bad, blah, and we're pedophiles and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fucking. And then she ends the date with, like, you know, oh, you know, I'll text you when I get home. She texts me when she gets home, like, I really enjoyed our date, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I was like, no. I literally texted her back, nah.
Like, I'm good.
There was one date, she lied about her age on Tinder. She was 16 when on her Tinder it said she was 18. And like, you know, we were texting. There were certain times during the day where she was busier. So from like 8 a.m. to like 2 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. she was busy. And I was like, okay, maybe she just works.
Right, yeah.
She didn't specify this to me. And then she started to be like, no, I got to go to bed at like 9:30 p.m. And I'd be like, but only Monday through Friday. So I was like, okay, maybe she just has like a 9 to 5, well, like an 8 to 2, like Monday through Friday.
Or like more accurately, Sunday through Thursday.
Yeah. So all right. Right? Like, okay. And then she texts me, sorry, my mom took my phone away. And I was like, oh, how old are you? She was like, 16. And I'm like, no. I was like, no.
No,
like, we're done.
you.
I was like, we are not dating. We are not talking anymore. I am no longer. And she's like, well, in a couple of years. And I'm like, no, nope.
It's not how that works.
Nope. Nope. No. Fucking, nah. Nah.
Just nah.
Yeah, no. Like, no. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. No. Like,
yeah.
No. That was, no. And I mean, I've had like other weird like interactions, like hookups and stuff, and like weird first dates and like weird little dates. I mean, I've dated quite a few people. There was one guy I dated that like used to be part of a Satanist Nazi cult.
Huh.
And then like believed that he was like Satan incarnate and like
Satanism and you know what's really odd? Satanism and Nazism usually don't go together. That's really weird.
Right. Except, the current Church of State, the current Church of Satan's, leader is an outward Nazi.
That's so weird though, because most Nazis are like usually non-religious or Christian. That's like really weird.
Or they're pro like German paganism.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Which, whatever, like, or some form of paganism that is very white supremacist-y and not very friendly to others, unlike actual paganism, which never have I met an actual pagan that has been a shitbag. like a practicing pagan. I judge people more on merit and like personality than either way. So yeah, so I dated this dude briefly, and like, what would you say is like the normal amount of time when you're officially dating someone? What would you say the normal amount of time per day to text someone is?
When you're dating? Well, I don't know, because me and my girlfriend text as often as we can. So like, I don't know.
Okay, but let's say like you're newly dating.
Okay, newly.
So let's read off of what I said, right?
Okay.
So I texted like once in the morning to say good morning, hope you're having a good day. I would text once like later in the afternoon to be like, hey, I hope your day's going well so far. Like, let me know when you can chat. Like, I miss you. I'd like to see you again. Like, it was really nice. Not even I miss you, but like, it was nice getting to know you. Like, it was nice on our date. I'd love to set up another date. Right. And then like at night, and then this is like 5 or 6 hours after the last text, right? I would message like, hey, how's your night going? Like, good night if you're in bed. Like, maybe we'll talk tomorrow. Sorry if you're busy. Right? So like 3 times a day, essentially.
Right.
Being left on scene.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
This is me.
Right.
Messaging him.
Right.
So, a week of not being responded to, and I'm only texting that amount of times, right? So, fine. And you know what? I'm going to call this story, Friend and the Man Whore.
Oh, boy.
No, Friend and the Man Baby Attention Whore.
Hell yeah. Okay.
No, you know what? Friend and the Man Baby Attention Grabbing, emotionally and mentally manipulative man whore.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final fucking title. So
that was correct. You win nothing.
You win a sad feeling.
I don't give. Yeah, sorry. We don't have any prizes. I can't really give you anything.
Well, this is happening back in 2018, or early 2019. So whatever, like, I find basically after a week, I'm like, all right. I message him. I'm like, all right. Clearly, either you're no longer interested. I wish you would have just told me instead of just decided to ghost me, because that is not fucking cool.
Right.
I got really annoyed. So I have my friend is like, that's not cool. And he messages him for me, this guy, like, that's ghosting me. The guy's like, yeah, I really liked Akiva, but they messaged me too much. Fucking,
what the
really?
fuck?
Shut up. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, really? Oh, God forbid I message you more than once a day asking how you're doing. A person that you're apparently freshly dating. Like, shut up. So, flash forward to 2020. I'm dating this guy. Things are going okay. He starts working at this place. Oh, bing, bing, bing. This ex of mine starts talking to, you'll never guess, my ex-boyfriend that fucking ghosted me and was a Nazi cultist weirdo.
Shit.
And he starts like playing these cute little games on Discord where it's like, oh, I have to draw this until he notices me, and oh, blah, 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 blah. But I would always be like, I don't really like you talking to my ex. I don't really like you talking to this ex that treated me like shit. And he'd be like, well, I'm allowed to have friends, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you're totally fine to have friends wherever and when whoever you want. But, like, I'm telling you I'm uncomfortable with this one person and you're not listening. And he's like, basically, like, I have never and do not go through my significant other's phone. But I came so close to going through his phone because I was seeing like him like getting like texts with like heart emojis and blushy smileys and like all this stuff, all this flirty stuff that he would say. And I was like, all right. He was basically flirting with my ex-boyfriend. And when I would be like, I have this concern, he'd be like, no, like he's changed. People change. Like your way isn't the only right way. You're not always right. You think you're always right, but you're not always right. And I'm like, bruh. So we're breaking up, right? At this point, him and I are like breaking up in like August 2020.
Right.
And I tell him all of these things about this guy. And he's like, well, you never told me that. Why didn't you ever tell me that? And I was like,
fucking Tim Allen.
I literally did that. And I fucking turned to him and slowed the car down. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, you would literally bitch at me whenever I fucking said anything about this dude. Like, he'd get mad when he would, like, talk about, oh, this person's so great, blah, 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 he's so great, blah, 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 blah. Like, all right. And he was, like, low-key obsessed with my brother. It was really fucking weird.
Oh, I think
he was, like, obsessed with
that.
my brother. Like, I told you about that. He was just, like, weirdly obsessed about wanting to hang out with me and him. All the fucking time. And it was never, like, me and him anymore. It was, like, me, my brother, and him. And my brother was like, that's getting kind of weird. Like, my brother pulled me aside and was like, dude, like, that's kind of weird what's going on, right?
It's never me and him. It's always me and him and him. That's from the Muppet movie.
Oh, yeah. So, but, like, weird, right? So, yeah, we broke up. I was ready to fucking break up anyway. Like, we had one more good time hanging out. And then I was like, I do not want this guy anymore. And you know what? A month later, I met my current fiance, so...
It worked out.
Yeah, we've been together for like 2 fucking years. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's like... What did I say is my fucking...
It was a long-ass title. I don't fucking remember it.
Yeah, so... Basically, my ex-boyfriend and my boyfriend of the time were like, it wasn't even like cheating, but it was like definitely, I don't know, like emotional cheating.
Right.
It was like affection cheating. If he had told me like, oh, you know, I'm just like being nice to this person, whatever. Nope. Just a fucking prick. Yeah. Bitches be crazy. Am I right, Jonas?
Oh, man. You could say that again, Akiva. Bitches do be crazy.
Bitches be crazy. Am I right, Jonas?
As the kids say, bitches be crazy.
As the kids say, bitches be crazy. Am I right, Jonas?
As you know what? As the kids say, bitches finna be crazy.
You can say that again.
As the kids say, bitches finna be crazy.
You can say that again.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. Are
we annoying yet, audience? Are we annoying yet?
I hope you're annoyed. I hope you're unhappy. I hope you're very unhappy.
Yeah.
I hope this is fucking torture to listen to. I hope
you're genuinely in such a bad mood when you finish listening to this.
I hope that you feel terrible right now because we're fucking evil. We are so evil. We're just evil, man. We just love murdering people, man. It's not even funny. We're just so evil.
Yeah. Yeah. What he said.
Oh man, I have a story. I don't know if we have time for it, but I do have one more story.
We have a couple minutes.
All right. Speed run. Okay. So I'm gonna call this the time I was a piece of shit. Okay, you know what? Let me rephrase it. The time I was a piece of shit, but my girlfriend was also a piece of shit. Basically, I had just finished dating this one girl, and after I finished dating her, I was like really pissed off with her. So I decided to do something I am not proud of, and that was date one of her friends. Not proud of that. I shouldn't have done that, but that's what I chose to do. For context, I was like a freshman, so I wasn't like fully like developed. I wasn't like super like, oh man, like, you know, basically I wasn't like super like, you know, morally correct yet. So that's what I did. And for a while the relationship went okay, I guess, until eventually she introduced that she had this crazy ex who basically like hit her and would basically like force her to like go over, who would basically go over to her house and then like treat her like shit and stuff.
Jonas, are you ready? Are you ready for a controversial take?
Okay.
That's really not okay.
Akiva, look, we have agreed we wanted to keep politics out of our podcast. I'd recommend you don't say anything like that ever again. I don't think our audience is gonna like hearing such.
You're right. I'm sorry. Sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
I just don't think that abusing your partner is okay in any way, shape, or form. But
hey, man, please. This is.
You're right. Yeah. I will not say anything further. My apologies. Go on.
So it's like, damn, that's shitty. Then eventually I start to piss off my girlfriend sometimes, you know, because I'm not perfect. It pisses her off. And every time I do, she always threatens to kill herself. Okay? Like that's shitty, but I'm also a freshman, and so I'm like, oh no, I can't let that happen.
Maybe switch out what you said with like unalive or something.
Yeah.
Like bleep out because YouTube will remove that.
Yeah, maybe. But basically, every time she would say, oh man, I'm gonna drink bleach, and then she claimed that she would drink bleach. And then every time her abusive ex would come over, and then he would like make her like not die, which is like, I don't know how you even do that, but like, okay, I guess that's like a good thing, I guess. And eventually I began to realize every time she's about to kill herself, her abusive ex comes over to stop her. And so I'm like, this is weird. Like, really?
So they're fucking.
It's really weird. And eventually, although she never said it, I eventually realized, oh, this guy doesn't exist. I eventually made that realization that like, oh, this guy just doesn't fucking exist. He just exists to make me feel bad.
Yeah. One of those. Okay.
Yeah. So eventually I realized I need to break up with her because this isn't going well. Now the way I break up with her, I'm not too proud of. The way I did it was I basically told her, I don't like the way that you're talking about my friend, so I'm breaking up with you. It was a lie. That's not why I broke up with her, but that's how I did it.
Yeah.
That's the end of the story, I guess. If we had more time, I would be able to go more into that. But unfortunately, we are just about out of time, my beautiful and wonderful friends here on this show. We have shit to do and things to fuck. And when I say things, I mean
and milk to love.
Milk to love. You are indeed correct. Well, everybody,
love to milk and milk to love.
We have been Milk Lovers Anonymous. I've been your host, Jonas Goldberg,
and I have been your host as well, because I'm also a host.
Yes,
Akiva. What's my in case you guys haven't noticed, this is my fucking pseudonym. Goldberg.
Yeah, we are brothers, I guess.
Shit. Yeah. Committed to that now. God.
And we will see you next Wednesday.